Part 1. The Lost City of Athens. Hidden beneath the grandeur of Athens, beyond the Parthenon's towering columns and the bustling agora, lies a secret the world has forgotten, a secret buried for millennia, waiting for the right eyes to uncover it. The streets of Athens were alive with energy, even as the sun began to dip low in the sky. Merchants called out to passers-by, their voices competing with the clatter of sandals on cobblestone streets. Baskets overflowed with olives, grapes, and woven fabrics dyed in vivid blues and reds. The smell of fresh bread mingled with the faint tang of sea salt carried from the harbor. In the midst of this daily chaos walked Callias, a young scholar with a mind sharper than most, and a curiosity that often bordered on recklessness. He observed everything, the way the sunlight reflected off marble statues, the patterns in the cracks of the stone streets, the subtle gestures of a philosopher debating passionately in the agora. Every detail mattered, for he had a feeling, a sense that something extraordinary was waiting for him. Above the city, the Parthenon glowed under the fading sun, its columns casting long protective shadows over Athens. Few knew that beneath its sacred floors, in tunnels forgotten by time, lay a golden tablet, etched with symbols that could change the world if ever they were understood. Callias's footsteps echoed in narrow alleyways, his mind racing with the legends he had heard. Whispers of ancient knowledge, forbidden secrets, and prophecies long hidden swirled through his thoughts. He paused to watch a group of merchants negotiating the price of olive oil, the sun glinting off their coins. Even here, in the mundane rhythm of everyday life, there was a sense of the extraordinary lurking beneath the surface. As he approached the Acropolis, the shadows deepened. A slight breeze carried the scent of wild herbs and the faint metallic tang of the city's weapon stores. The stairway leading to the hidden tunnels appeared almost ordinary, just another passage beneath the city. Yet Callias knew better. He hesitated, every instinct screaming to turn back. But curiosity drew him forward, stronger than fear. The entrance to the underground chamber was narrow and partially hidden by overgrown vines. Callias pushed them aside, revealing the stone steps that descended into darkness. Torches flickered faintly along the walls, casting dancing shadows that seemed alive, stretching and shrinking, as if the city itself was watching. The air was cool, heavy with the weight of centuries. Each step he took echoed ominously, a rhythm that matched the beat of his own heart. The walls of the tunnel were covered with intricate carvings, battles frozen in stone, gods locked in eternal struggle, mythical creatures twisting and turning in frozen motion. Callias ran his fingers over the symbols, feeling the grooves etch deep into the marble. He imagined the hands that had carved them, the secrets they had sought to protect, and the dangers that had chased them through history. Finally, he arrived in the chamber where the tablet lay. It rested on a pedestal of polished stone, golden light shimmering across its surface. The symbols seemed almost to breathe, moving in patterns too complex for any human mind to comprehend. A chill ran down Callias's spine. Around him, the shadows of the chamber seemed to shift, revealing figures lurking in the corners. Members of a secret society sworn to protect the tablet. "Who are you?" one whispered, voice echoing in the hollow chamber. "Why do you seek what must not be disturbed?"
Callias swallowed hard, his curiosity now mixed with fear. He studied the tablet, the walls, the flickering torchlight. Every symbol seemed to speak to him, telling stories of kings and gods, of battles won and lost, of secrets humanity was not meant to know. He wondered, could he decipher it? Or would the knowledge destroy him, as it had destroyed others before? Time seemed to slow. Callias traced the carvings on the walls with his eyes, taking in every detail. The delicate patterns of olive branches surrounding the carved battles, the expressions of the gods frozen in stone, the twisting forms of creatures both beautiful and terrifying. The chamber was alive with history, every stone whispering tales from thousands of years ago. He moved closer to the pedestal, noticing scratches and marks along its base, signs that others had come before him. Some had failed. Some had vanished. The torchlight flickered, shadows dancing across the golden surface, making the symbols appear to shift and writhe. Callias's hand hovered just above the tablet. Could he touch it? Could he risk unlocking the secrets hidden for millennia? In that moment, a faint sound echoed through the chamber. A whisper, almost like a breath, or perhaps a warning. Callias froze. Every instinct told him to retreat, but he could not. The pull was too strong. He had come this far, and he would not turn back. And so, with his heart pounding, he reached forward, ready to step into a world of mystery, danger, and knowledge beyond imagination. This was only the beginning of a journey into the heart of a forgotten civilization where gods walk among men, secrets lie in shadowed halls, and the past waits to reveal itself in ways no one could imagine. Part 2. The Forbidden Gods, Secrets Beneath Olympus. The origin of the divine, when light became flesh. Long before the first city of man was built, before marble touched sunlight, or the sea carried ships, there was light. Not the light of stars, but in living energy, vast and intelligent. Ancient texts, far older than Greece itself, speak of those who descended from the brightness. The Greeks would later call them theoi, the gods. But what if they were not born in Olympus? What if they came from beyond it? In every myth of the world, there is a pattern. Gods descending from the sky, bringing fire, knowledge, and order. In Sumeria, they were called the Anunnaki. In Egypt, the Neteru. In Greece, the Olympians. Different names, same story. Beings of immense wisdom who shaped early mankind. The ancient Greeks did not see the gods as fantasy. They saw them as teachers, scientists, and rulers, each mastering a domain of natural law. Zeus ruled the skies, the invisible realm of energy. Poseidon ruled the seas, the hidden depths, source of life and power. Hades ruled the underworld, the unseen dimension beyond death. These weren't just metaphors, they were maps describing how the ancients understood forces of the universe that modern science is only now beginning to touch. The war beyond heaven, the truth about the Titanomachy. The war between the Titans and the Olympians, the Titanomachy, is remembered as myth. But in the language of the ancients, myth was never fiction. It was memory, encoded. A record of something too vast, too dangerous to be spoken as fact. The battle began when the Titans refused to bow to the new order of Zeus. They were the first architects of creation, the keepers of balance. To them, Zeus was not a savior. He was a usurper. He sought to control the aether, the limitless energy that bound heaven and earth. And so, brother turned against brother, light against light. Imagine not a clash of swords, but of power. Energy storms that ripped through the sky, lightning that scorched continents. The ancients said the heavens shook for 10 years. Could this have been a cosmic cataclysm? A war fought with energy beyond comprehension? The very word Titan comes from the root Tito,
meaning to stretch, to extend. They were beings of expansion, of energy without limit. Zeus's weapon, the thunderbolt, represented compression, control, domination.
The Cyclops, one-eyed smiths of the gods, are said to have forged Zeus's thunderbolts. The one eye was not their deformity. It was a symbol. Ancient texts describe them as engineers, builders of the divine forge, where matter could be transmuted. They crafted from the heart of the storm, says Hesiod. Perhaps a poetic way to describe harnessing plasma or magnetic energy, technologies that vanished long before our recorded history. When the Titans fell, they were sealed in Tartarus, a prison beneath the underworld. Tartarus was described as a pit as deep beneath the earth as heaven is above it. The Greeks placed it not in myth, but in geography, deep below the surface, where light could not reach. Could Tartarus have been a real place, a subterranean world, a containment zone, or even a dimensional barrier designed to hold the Titan's energy? Some scholars believe Tartarus represents the quantum abyss, the void beyond our perception. If the Titans were beings of pure energy, perhaps they were not destroyed, but phased out, locked within another frequency of existence. This could explain why ancient seers claimed to still hear their voices during storms or earthquakes, echoes of those cosmic prisoners rumbling beneath the world. And yet, the war never truly ended. Even as Zeus stood victorious, cracks appeared in his empire. Prometheus, a Titan who sided with man, began to whisper forbidden knowledge to humanity, a spark that would ignite defiance against Olympus itself. The gods had won their war in heaven, but a new war, a silent one, was about to begin on earth.
Expanded, Prometheus and the fire of knowledge. Among the Titans, there was one whose mind burnt brighter than any star, Prometheus. Unlike his brethren, who sought dominion and glory, he looked upon humanity with curiosity and compassion. The mortals were weak, vulnerable, fragile against the forces that shaped the earth and sky, yet within them he saw potential, a spark waiting to ignite. The Greeks tell us he stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans. But fire, as described in the myths, was far more than a simple flame. It was a concentrated essence of divine power, a force that illuminated not only darkness, but knowledge itself. With it, humans could transform the raw elements, shaping stone into tools, carving wood into structures, melting metal into weapons and ornaments. Civilization itself, it seems, was born not from chance, but from a deliberate gift. Prometheus acted in secret. He moved through shadows, avoiding the eyes of Zeus, whose gaze could pierce the heavens. He carried the flame in a hollow fennel stalk, a fragile conduit for a power that could not yet be fully understood by mortal hands. Every step was dangerous. Every breath risked discovery. Yet he persisted, guided by vision and foresight. This act, however, was not merely generosity. It was the introduction of knowledge, encoded in flame, ritual, and symbol. Fire represented energy, creativity, and transformation. It was a lesson. Humans could learn, adapt, and eventually surpass the limitations imposed upon them. Zeus, enraged, sought to punish Prometheus for this defiance. Bound to a jagged cliff, his liver eaten daily by a fearsome eagle, he endured suffering that was both eternal and symbolic. The story is more than myth. It is an allegory for the cost of knowledge, the burden of awareness, and the tension between divine order and human freedom. But let us examine fire itself. Could the myth describe a form of advanced energy manipulation? Some modern scholars suggest that myths of fire theft might encode observations of plasma, electricity, or even controlled lightning, phenomena known to the gods but incomprehensible to mortals. Prometheus may have handed humanity the ability to harness natural forces, embedding technology into allegory so that it could be discovered gradually, safely, across generations. Humans took the gift and experimented. They built fires not only for warmth, but for metallurgy. They discovered that different stones, when heated, could be transformed. Copper into bronze, gold into ornaments. With this knowledge came power. Civilization blossomed, cities rose from ashes, monuments etched into stone told stories of human ingenuity. Every spark was a reminder of Prometheus's defiance, and every invention a continuation of the Titan's legacy. Yet with knowledge comes danger. The Greeks understood this. Myths warned that mortals must respect the fire they wield. Misused, it could destroy homes, cities, even entire civilizations. The legend of Prometheus is a warning and an instruction manual wrapped in allegory. Fire is not merely physical, it is the power to transform thought, society, and the natural world itself.
Prometheus's gift also set the stage for rebellion. By giving humans knowledge, he sowed the seeds of curiosity that would lead to questioning, challenging, and eventually surpassing the gods themselves. Heroes like Hercules, inventors like Daedalus, even philosophers like Pythagoras and Plato, all are descendants of that spark. The myths encode a lineage of intellectual awakening, stretching from the Bronze Age to the modern era. And yet, the gift was hidden in layers of symbolism. The Greeks told of fire in hearths, but hidden in the story were principles of energy, transformation, and human potential. They told of Prometheus's suffering, a warning that knowledge comes with responsibility, that power without understanding leads to ruin. Even today, traces of this knowledge persist. Ancient temples, megalithic structures, and geometric patterns etched into monuments all may encode insights gifted by Prometheus. Could it be that the myths of fire, lightning, and divine punishment are really records of lost technology, science, and energy mastery that humans have yet to fully reclaim? The story of Prometheus is the story of humanity itself, the tension between ignorance and enlightenment, fear and curiosity, obedience and rebellion. And it is only the beginning of a journey that leads deeper into the secrets of the gods, a path that promises knowledge, danger, and discovery beyond imagination.